to my presentation is because I have a 100-pound dog who's trying to get me to pet him as we do this. So as you can see, that there's my sweet dog, and he'll calm down in just a little bit. Hey, Chrissy, good to see you on here, girl. So we just got started. So main thing I want to start out by with the guys is just a quick reminder as far as actually about 3 things. If you haven't noticed, the All Access Challenge Pack is still on sale, and it's going to be on sale through the end of the summer. So we all know how valuable that is. For $160, it's an amazing deal, and I don't know if it come the end of summer, they're going to bump it back up to $199. So know that that is there, and this is a great tool to help people. 2, we're not going to have another call for a couple more weeks because in about a week and a half, I'm leaving for Summit. And for those of you who don't know what Summit is it is our national convention every year where we get together with our corporate leaders, and new programs are launched, more new products are launched. We get training by top coaches. We get to hear from our corporate leaders. And I'm going to share with you, friends, I remember the first time I went to Summit, I had a really hard time justifying it with myself and with my family because I really wasn't making much as a coach yet. And I have to share that up until that moment, I was still having some deep internal struggles with the company and its name. I don't know if you saw my post last week, but I was sharing about how as a yogi and our goal of identifying with the physical body as a means of just ego, right? Of trying to get to a particular body fat or shape or whatever, and allowing our practices to be the byproduct of that. As a yogi, you're trying to let go of the egoic connection to the body. And so at the beginning of my business, I had a really hard time throwing my whole heart and soul into it because I had this weird disconnect of feeling like my priorities didn't align with the company's priorities. But it was going to Summit that really made me feel the heart and soul of this company, hearing from our corporate leaders, and knowing that I learned really that Beachbody is just a name. Just like I think Eckhart Tolle, the great spiritual teacher, says that, you know, when you're a child, you see a rose and you love the rose, and it's whenever you're taught that the rose is called a rose that you never see the rose for what it is again. Meaning we have so many, we get so many identifications in our mind behind words and what they're supposed to mean that we don't always feel the true essence of what it is. And it was going to Summit that got me to really feel the true essence of what Beachbody and Team Beachbody is. And I ended up sobbing the whole time because it was so moving, hearing the heart and soul of our corporate leaders and really what they feel. So whether or not Summit is in the bag for you this year, guys, while we are at Summit, pay attention because they will be offering options to go for major discounted prices while we're there. Tickets for 2018 will go on sale while we're there. So please have your eyes and ears open to the team page. So the weekend, I'm going to tell you the exact dates of when that is. It will be on the team calendar starting in the next couple of days. You'll see when I put July's team calendar up, hopefully on Saturday. You'll have these dates in front of you, but I will leave physically to go out of town on July 8th, but Summit actually starts on July 13th, so be paying attention to the team page. That said, the weekend of July 22nd will be the weekend of Super Saturday or Super Sunday in your area. So if you're not able to make it to Summit, do your best to make it to a Super Saturday or Super Sunday so you can really learn about all the things that were introduced, and you'll get the highlights from, and they'll, I'm sure, share some news with you guys there too. So I really hope you choose to join us for Summit next year if you're not going this year. It's going to be a great opportunity for me and Jill Optoski, and we'll see Tara and her spouse, and we got a brand new coach, David Brady, who's going, and let's see, and Becca, so old school coach on the team, Becca's going with her husband, and so is Stephanie Brown, who is a discount coach. She's just kind of deciding to go just to see what it's all about. So I'm excited to see what happens. So that's the news. Let's dig into the meat for today's call, shall we? And today we're going to talk about the 5-step invitation process. And if you have been a coach for a while, maybe this is just review, but I know we have some new coaches on the team. So I want to talk about this again. So we're talking about the 5-step invitation process. Because here's the thing, guys, many of us just kind of like want to word vomit on people, or we want to send one message and think that that's going to be like the deal. But it's not, because it's a process. It takes time. So here's your 5 steps to invite success. Now, before we really dig into this, there's really 2 ways to start this process. There's a warm process and there's a cold process. So what does that mean? Warm processes mean that you're going to be, you've already been engaged in conversation with them. You've been going back and forth. They've been confiding into you what's been going on in their lives, and that you feel Beachbody might be a good fit, and so you choose to invite them. A cold invite means it just like kind of came out of nowhere. And I go back and forth between whether I do cold invites or warm invites, but I'm like on a roll of cold invites right now, and let me share with you how. So every Sunday night and Monday night, I talk about I do a call to action. So this week it was one about my Firecracker Fitness Accountability Group on Sunday night. Monday night, I posted about my Hotter at Home Accountability Group. Both are starting at the same day. Deadlines are approaching to fill those groups, so I posted about both. But usually one night I'll post about the coaching opportunity. The other night I'll post about my upcoming challenge group. So there's 2 call to action posts I do for sure a week. And then so that's Sunday night, Monday night. Every Tuesday night I do Transformation Tuesday, and I do my best to pull Beachbody into it some way, even though it's not a call to action or it's not a salesy post, just sharing about how Beachbody changed my life. So that's on Tuesday night. And on Thursday night, I do a throwback Thursday, which again, trying to find a way that Beachbody has helped change my life. And again, not being salesy, just sharing a part of my journey. So that's 4 days a week I'm posting something about Beachbody. So when I go to message people the next day, I literally message every single person who liked or commented on that post. So step 1 is the invite, and include a personal question or message. So say, for example, if you're doing a cold invite and it had nothing to do with a post that you made the night before, I would say something like this, and I would write notes down about this if I were you, because smart people take notes. So if you haven't seen this presentation before, you should be taking notes. If you have seen it before and maybe you haven't been quite as consistent, or maybe you haven't had the results or the fruits that you're looking for, definitely please make sure you're taking notes again. So, water break for a second. So if I were sending a cold invite to someone and I haven't talked to them in a while, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to their Facebook page and I'm going to look to see what's going on in their lives, to see maybe something that they've posted about recently that they care about. And what do people care about the most? They care about themselves, they care about their kids, they care about what's going on with their family. And so I'll find something going on in their lives that they care about, and I'll ask them a question about it. So it may start out with, I'll post about, say Eva on the team is my prospect. And I would post something about, hey Eva, I was just on your page and I noticed that last month you just got back from a trip from visiting your family overseas. And I'm just curious to know, is everything okay? what's going on? How long have your parents, or I would ask something personable about that trip. What was the best part about that trip, and how often do you go home to see your parents? So that's something personal right there, and that's something personal. People like to talk about themselves, so it's just going to be more apt to reply back. And then I'm going to make my invite as like a PS, or by the way, and it's going to say something like, by the way, have you been seeing some of my posts lately about my fitness journey? I have been loving my online accountability group. I was curious to know how your fitness is going, and it's always more fun to do something with friends. Would you be interested in joining an accountability group with me so we can work towards our goals together, or something like that, right? So I would have something personal, and I would have an invite in there asking if people want more information. Make it short, just a couple sentences long. They're more apt to reply back if there's something about them in the message. Now, if a cold invite, like someone just like liked on one of my posts from last night about Transformation Tuesday or about Hotter Than Home, what I'm going to do today is everybody who liked or commented on my post about my upcoming challenge group, I'm going to say something like this, and it's going to be completely cold. And it's going to say, hey, Melody, thank you so much for liking my post last night about my upcoming accountability group, Hotter at Home. When you intentionally try to put good vibes out there, it feels so good to know that they're coming back. So I want you to know how much I appreciate your support. By the way, have you ever considered joining us? We start on July 5th. Would you like more information? And then I'll normally even put in parentheses, because I like to make it really easy to say no. If you're not interested, no worries. I just wanted to share. Again, thanks so much for your support. And that's it. So if you make it really, really, really easy for the person to say no, you're gonna get less non-responsive. I'm gonna say that again. If you make it really easy for the person to say no, and you ask some sort of personal question along with it, you're going to be more apt to get a response back. Step 2, why? Okay, before we go into step 2, why, I want to go back to one more thing, because I can already hear in the ether some of you guys saying, but Aubrey, I do ask questions and no one replies back to me. What do I do? Well, then what you do is you go to their personal page and you start engaging with them on their page. You start liking and commenting on their things and start engaging on their page. Why? Remember this mantra. Write this mantra down. Just because it is your priority, doesn't mean it's theirs. So again, just because it's your priority doesn't mean it's theirs. So like how often have you saw that someone that you enjoy sent you a message on Facebook, and you didn't have time to reply to it, but you want to know what they had to say, and you opened it up and you saw it, and then all of a sudden, crap, you realize, oh man, I don't have time to reply to them. I'll reply to them later. You close it, and then you forget to go back to it. It's not that you weren't interested or you didn't care, you just forgot about it because it wasn't your priority. So there's a high probability that it's theirs too, that's the situation too. So if that's the case, then go to their page and start engaging with them, because sometimes you doing that is just like you waving from the background, being like, hi, remember? And so you engaging on their page is going to be a trigger for them to go back and reply to you at that point. Whether they're interested or not, it doesn't matter, but it's them going back to reply to you. Now, I will tell you, I do have some people who I've cold invited that, say for example, this chick that a good guy friend of mine dated for a long time, on and off again with, and her and I became friends during that period. And over the years, I've sent her many, many invites. And the other day, she liked to commented on one of my Transformation Tuesday posts, or Throwback Thursday, and I went to message her a cold invite, and then I realized, holy shit, I mean, holy cow, sorry about that, Chrissy. In the last couple of years, like, she has not replied to me one time, and all of these have been cold invites. So what did that spur me to realize? Was she's ignoring me. And so I then sent her, all I sent her was a message that said, hey Alicia, do you use Messenger? ? And that was it. Within an hour, I had a message back that said, yeah, why? And I messaged her back, said, it's like, I was just thinking about you, and I went back to just send you a message, and I realized that I've sent you like 5 over the past 3 years, and you never replied back to any of them. So I didn't know if you don't have the app downloaded on your phone and you don't use Messenger, or maybe you're just, or maybe you're ignoring me. And I was trying to figure out, well, I guess I know my answer now, ha ha. It was like kind of made light of it. But what's funny is her and I are engaged in conversation now. And I'm being very mindful not to have anything about Beachbody, because she really is a chick and I enjoy. She really is a chick that I would love to have on our team or in a challenge group. But I also know the cold invite process doesn't work with her. So I'm going to let that go and just work on building that relationship back up again. So that's a fun way to get people to engage with you, is just ask, hey, by the way, do you use Messenger? And that's it. And see if you get crickets then. So next step is why. So generally you get the answer from people, yeah, sure, I'm interested. And then you ask why. And then generally people, here's the thing, guys, people make decisions based on emotions and then justify with logic. So again, people purchase based on emotions and justify with logic. So say if I were to just message somebody, invite them to the challenge group, they say they're interested in more information, and then my next message is all the information, all the details, what the cost, this big like vomit of information, and they're going to see $160 to get started, and they're going to think in their head in that moment, well, I don't have $160, so nope, sorry, not the right time for me. But in all reality, you didn't get them to link that $160 with what it was going to do for them. And so that takes time, getting to the emotional reason behind it. So the first step is second step is you ask why. So how would I put that? So say, yes, I'd like more info. Awesome. Okay, before I give you all the details, I just need to know what makes you interested. So that's step 2. Step 3, acknowledge their why and dig deeper. So acknowledging their why is really important, to let people know that what they're feeling isn't crazy. So they say, I want to lose 30 pounds. Like, oh, okay, I understand. If you're wanting to lose 30 pounds. It's like, I get it. I used to be 50 pounds heavier too. I know the feeling, what it feels like to lose weight. But here's the thing, guys, you got to dig deeper. Why do you have to dig deeper? Because there are more reasons. Why does she want to lose weight? Why does he want to lose weight? Why does he want to put on mass? So I'm going to take you down the rabbit hole of and peeling back the onion of my why. So if someone would have just asked me, would you be interested in hearing more information, say before I joined the gym for the first time? Yeah, sure. I'd like to hear more information about what's worked for you. And they just shared me, well, are you interested? Yes, I'm interested. Why? Well, because I'd like to lose about 30 pounds. Oh, okay. Well, here's all the details, and here's the prices and everything. And they just showed me the price. I would have been like, no, okay, not interested. But if they would have kept asking me questions, well, sorry about the noise. Why do you want to lose 30 pounds? Well, because I don't feel good in my body right now. Well, why is it important for you to feel good in your body? Well, because I don't feel like I can do all the things that I want to do. Well, like, what are the things that are getting in your way from doing what you want to do? Well, I don't really feel comfortable doing all of the experiences that I'd like to do. I don't feel comfortable going out in public in a bathing suit and so on. And maybe I'm going to dig a little bit deeper and ask another question. Well, do you have any health-related issues in your family, any chronic issues in your family? Well, yeah, actually I do. You know, my grandmother on my maternal side, I was so obese. She had her knees replaced about 3 times. My paternal grandmother had diabetes so bad she was pricking herself with needles all day long every day. Obesity, and that grandmother also had heart disease and had, I knew what a bypass, triple bypass was at way too young of age, because my grandma had multiple of them. And I watched the women in my life who I truly care about not being able to engage with me to the level that I wish that they could have, because obesity stood in the way. Bam! That right there is worth $160 of me being able to justify why this might set me on the road down, feeling better about myself, and why that investment is worth it to my future self. So dig deeper. So set up a phone call or ask more questions and give details. So I suggest setting up a phone call, because if you can really chat with someone and hear about their emotional reasons, and go back and forth and ask a lot of questions, the probability of them saying yes is going to go up, because there's going to be some sort of emotional connection. Again, we buy based on emotion and justify with logic. But if you don't set up a phone call, you can go back and forth and you can ask a ton of questions. And if you're not quite sure about what questions to ask, please look in the Team Butterfly Effect Facebook page, and in the files section, I have a document that's called Asking a Lot of Questions, so you can refer to that. But I ask them all the questions to figure out if this is going to be the right mode for them. So say, for example, I always ask, do you have any food allergies? Because if they're allergic to crawfish or shellfish, if they're definitely allergic to shellfish, they can't have Shakeology. If they have any food allergies of any of the things that are in Shakeology, they can't have Shakeology. Do they have any chronic injuries do we need to know about? Do they struggle with portion control? If they struggle with portion control or with clean eating, then our portion fix, and that being a part of Fixate, being a part of our All Access Challenge Pack, the value is just gone up, right? What are some of the other questions? If you had a tool that made getting your nutrients in every day super easy, super fast, super delicious, and super convenient, would that be valuable to you? If it was proven to reduce cravings and help you lose weight, would it be better for you? Would it be valuable for you if you knew that I was checking to see if you're working out on a daily basis because you're connected via an app? Would that be valuable to you? So guys, I ask a ton of questions and I get them to say yes a lot of times. And then once we've identified and established the how valuable it is, then I give them the details, okay? Then I give them the answers as far as how much everything is. And guys, I always lay out the value. So Beachbody On Demand is this. It's $100 for a year. Shakeology is this. It's $130 for 1 month. However, check this out. For $160, you can get this, 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 and this. And guess what? After your first month is over, then it drops everything down 10% because you're now a club member. So I outline all the details and show them how valuable it is. And then once they say, so I always end it with, is that doable for you? Or I give what sounds better, option 1, option 2, or option 3. That's what I've been doing a lot lately, is I don't say, is this good or bad? I just say, which one is better, 1, 2, or 3. And so 1 was only Beachbody On Demand, 2 was only Shakeology, 3 is a challenge pack. Which one sounds better, 1, 2, or 3? After I lay out all the details, right? And after I lay out all the details, then I'll say, and hardly ever get anyone to say only 1 or only 2. They want to take advantage of all of it. And then I give ordering options, which is generating a link and discussing retail versus club. So say, for example, just you can use the app generator to do that easily for someone. But within the asking questions to people, I always ask, have you ever done a Beachbody program before, or have you ever worked with a coach? Because if you have done if they have done a Beachbody program before, then they need to do a coach transfer first. Bye, Jill. Thanks for joining us, girlfriend. No worries. So yes, so here's the deal. If you don't get them to switch coaches first, and they go, even if you generate them a link within the whole systems of technology, they will then be processed through their old coach. So you want to make sure that you have them aligned within the system before they ever go online to purchase. And then they get included in your challenge group. So that's the 5-step invitation process. But before we say goodbye today, I want to, let me share screen again. I want to show you, because I don't want to just assume that you know what I'm talking about. I realize that a lot of people aren't as Facebook savvy. So let's just look real quick. What am I talking about? Where are these tools and these resources that you can see? Team Butterfly Effect page. We go over here. We go into Files. Click Files. And by the way, guys, if you haven't like searched through this, you really should. Let's see. Invite steps. Ask lots of questions. It's all laid out there for you guys. So, I mean, you can see, I just laid it all out for you. If you're a visual person who needs to know, to see this, it's all right here. But look at all these questions I have listed for you. I've done the work here, guys. So now you just need to actually take the time and dig into people and find out, okay? So all of that is there for you. And just a quick reminder, if you haven't made it through Team Made University, if you're a new coach or newer coach, or still need to make sure you get your stuff going, up and going, here's the link for Team Made University. Melissa McAllister is our upline elite top 10 coach, and this is produced by her and her team. So this is like the best meat out there right now. So I hope you guys are ready to start inviting. I hope you guys know that just posting on your wall is not sufficient enough for inviting. You've got to personal message people, because I rarely ever have sales happen from just me posting on my wall. It takes me personally engaging. So before we say goodbye, Chrissy, do you have any questions while we're on? It's me and you.
No, I don't have any questions. I'm excited to get back on track and get started again. So.
We're excited to have you showing up and getting back on track again too. All right, I'm gonna stop recording. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.